Hello and welcome to Hope Channel Ghana. My name is Nana Kosiabuachi and this is Hope Adventist News. Headlines for this week: Southern Ghana Union Conference ends GC Women Ministry Leadership Certification Training Program. Accra City Conference Children's Ministries Department donates to Royal Seed Orphanage. NAS ends its 40th Annual Congress. Let your lifestyle reflect your music, Pastor Uria, two Adventist musicians. Details of these stories and others will be coming your way right here on Hope Adventist News. Now to our first story. The last level of the General Conference Women Ministries Leadership Certification Training Program, which took place from November 11th to the 13th at the Volta Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, saw more than 483 women from the 12 conferences in the Southern Ghana Union Conference participating this year. The Leadership Certificate in Women's Ministries Program's objective is to provide high-quality training and networking opportunities to prepare women to serve as lay leaders and church employees in woman-to-woman ministries in their local churches. Topics treated included leadership mentoring for 21st century women, Jesus' leadership model, creating potential leaders, equipping leaders for success, women in leadership in the Bible, women mentoring women, and nature of relationship in leadership. Facilitators for the program were the Women Ministries Director for the West African Division, Dr. Omobonike Adiola Sasu, Mrs. Christiana Ajenum Boatin, the Women Ministries Director for the Southern Ghana Union Conference, and Mrs. Tabitha Kra, the Women Ministries Director of the Eastern Sahara Union Mission, as well as all fields and conferences directors. When selecting leaders for his mission, God, according to Mrs. Christiana Ajenum Boatin, considers the heart rather than outward appearance.
If you are a woman, or if you are in a nominating committee and you are asked to select or nominate someone to lead your church, the way we do our things is like what they did. When we pick our lenses and we look at the outward look. And I'm sending a count, but there was good in the apple.
Addressing the participant, Dr. Omobonike Adiola Sasu admonished the women not to turn down any position that will be offered to them following the training. It is noted that women who successfully go through the training will graduate next year at a National Women's Congress. In an interview with Dr. Omobonike Adiola Sasu, the West African Division Director for Women Ministry, she stated that one of the goals of the program was to improve the lives of the women and to nurture them for future generations.
Yes, I am Mrs. Omobonike Adiola Sasu, the Women's Ministries Director for the West Central Africa Division. I have come to Southern Ghana Union Conference to train women in the leadership certification courses level 4. Level 4 meaning that the women have gone through levels 1, 2, 3. And these courses have different topics that actually cover how women can live better in their churches, in their communities, and even in their families. And so level 4 is directed or coordinated by the ward director, and that is why I am here. And the objective of this is that our women should be equipped to spiritually and adequately fulfill their leadership roles in every aspect of life. We have 7 courses in level 4, and these courses actually focus on how women can develop mentoring programs so that they can be able to help the younger generations to also grow.
One of the participants who shared her personal experience commended the Southern Ghana Union Conference Women's Ministries leadership for initiating this program to help the women in the conference.
Nyame abusua yɛda nyame ase sɛ ne dumunti wafra ya ba kwanhwɛfo sum yenyina de akomakoro bɛda yɛn mpanimfo ase wɔn hyehyɛ pa da ne da wɔn yɛ ma yɛn esane sɛ nyame ɛdɛ ɛyɛ hyehyɛ pa certificate course ɛnam yɛn maame no so yɛn asɔfoɔ so ɛyɛ hyehyɛ ma woman ministry for sɛ imagine nimdeɛ ɛwɔ nyame mu no nyame adom yɛdu level 400 ya shase fi 1 2 3 ya do 4 na free enra edi besi enne ene ochena ye nyame ne pa ye de bekwa wieye no nyame nam ne dum so ama ye nya nimdie bebre a bebo ye fie ye ma ya safum ene adofo no ma atwa ye ho ahia ene nti me nuanom de me sra mu nyina ne se nyame ma so nyame nam ne dum so ye hyehye pa e de ma ye nse ya ye mfa opepa de nyina nyi entum yentu anamompa ebeboa yen esanse wiebre mu na yedroyi yeni bribie bio ema yen ho na yede nsam ayiyi yen ho ano yede ahokere ayiyi yen ho ano eni nti se nyame frewa geso na tu anamon no oni no nim ahoden a ode be ma na yede atumi da na adwuma a ebekọ awieye na wanya awieye pa.
In a related story, a leadership certification level 4 course was held by the Northern Ghana Union Conference Women's Ministries Department from November 18th to November 20th, 2022 at the Christian Village at Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly neighborhood. Women who participated in the program were selected from the various conferences and districts of the Union. Speakers for the program included Dr. Mrs. Omobonike Adiola Sasu, Director for Women's and Children Ministries for the West Central African Division, WAD, and Mrs. Linda Vida Jesse, Director for Women's Children Ministries for the Northern Ghana Union Conference. Dr. Mrs. Omobonike speaking during the divine service on the topic Leadership Mentoring for the 21st Century Women admonished the women to involve more women in some of their ministry's activities so that there would be more diversity in the style of leadership and more opportunities for women to express their natural gifts.
But they cannot be me, the director. I am ready to and when the person takes over, our work is almost done. Allow the person to carry out that leadership role. Don't dictate. Don't put your hands on top like this. Now she became director, she does not know us again. She even wants to do programs, she did not even inform me. She did not even invite me. Mommy.
The leadership of Northern Ghana Union Conference presented a citation to Dr. Mrs. Omobonike Adiola Sasu for honoring their invitation to participate at the course and was presented by Pastor Aaron Joseph Hagan, a retired minister from Valley View University, OEB. The women at the training facility donated money for their impending mega crusade and for the purchase of the Great Controversy books to be distributed during the program in 2023. A report by Nana Kwabena Jesse Dakwa, Kumasi. The Accra City Conference Children's Ministries Department, Zone 2, donated assorted items worth about 4,000 Ghana cedis and an undisclosed sum of money to the Royal Seed Orphanage situated at Papa Sekaswa in the Central Region and worshipped with them also. Led by Mrs. Cecilia B. Brown, the Accra City Conference Children Ministries Director, zonal executives, teachers, and about 550 children, the items were received by Mrs. Naomi Amwa, Director of the Orphanage Home. Mrs. Brown stated that the day was set aside as Orphans and Vulnerable Children Day. With this, her department decided to show love and worship with the children at Royal Seed Orphanage Home. The orphanage director expressed her appreciation to the Adventist Church for always coming to support the institution and also pleaded with other corporate bodies, institutions, and philanthropists and churches to come to their aid. To the glory of God, the 40th Annual Congress of the Ghana National Association of Adventist Students, NAS, which was held at the University of Education in Winneba from November 13th to 20th, ended with the baptism of 24 souls. In 1980, Seventh-day Adventist young people in public universities in Ghana conceived the idea of an association for Adventist students. They wanted to find out whether they could make a difference in the church and in the world by taking seriously the claims of biblical Adventism. These young people came from different walks of life, a spectrum of socioeconomic, ethnic, and academic backgrounds. In 1982, a meeting was held at the Seventh-day Adventist Teachers Training College at Socorro for the educationalists and intellectuals. The meeting ended with the formation of Ghana National Association of Adventist Students, NAS. The theme for the 40th edition of the annual congress was Press On, Go Higher, with a global Seventh-day Adventist Church theme of I Will Go in view. The thematic speaker was Pastor John T. Boston II, Associate Director for the North American Division at the Institute of Evangelism at Andrews University, and also served as a professor at the seminary. The devotional speaker was Pastor Samuel J., who is the Associate Pastor for the Ghanaian Columbus Seventh-day Adventist Church and the Eastwood Seventh-day Adventist Church, all in the Ohio Conference. Also in attendance was the president of the Southern Ghana Union Conference, SGUC, Pastor Thomas Techiokran, directors for the 40th edition, Pastor Nana Kofi Nimakun, PCM Director, NEC Chairman for the Southern Ghana Union Conference, and Pastor Alex Echampon, the Public Campus Ministry Director and Co-Chair, and some distinguished dignitaries. Pastor John T. Boston II, during his sermon on Saturday, 20th November, charged the youth to pursue the voice God has given to them. He also admonished them to never allow their voice to be muted, no matter the circumstances they find themselves. As a means of appreciation, the outgoing leadership of NAS gifted out some traditional smoke to Pastor John T. Boston II and Pastor Samuel A.J. and their families for their selfless dedication to God's work. Citations of honor were also awarded to the outgoing leaders of NAS and some individuals who have contributed to the growth of NAS and the campus ministry. Still to come in this bulletin, let your lifestyle reflect your music, Pastor Uriah to Adventist musicians. A Christian should not always be identified with poverty, Elder P.A. Frimpong. We go for a quick break. We'll be back with the rest of the stories. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Hope Adventist News. Pastor Uriel Mensah, the Youth and Music Director of the Ashanti South Ghana Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, has urged members of the church choir and singing band group to live in line with the lyrics of their music. Pastor Uriel said that Adventist music has a special quality and that it is a special tool for evangelism. This was said by Pastor Uriel during his sermon at the Music Revival event, which took place at the Elizabeth Church in the Obuasi municipality. The program, which is the maiden event of the church in Obuasi, brought together a number of choral groups from other churches. The program was under the theme Repentance, Revival and Restoration to Repositioning the Music Department for a New Experience in 2023. The Obuasi Municipal Educational Director of Culture and Music, Elder Michael Boatin, who was the main speaker for the one-week event, was very happy and commended the organizers for such a wonderful program. He advised the musicians not to sing for fun, but to the glory of God. He also urged them to read the Bible always and also attend Bible studies and other church programs.
Semini, Mediana IFE, na se onyame en monyam se de dwumtofo na hokeka ene dwumadie na esiko ene de in fact esenyame en monyam pa na ade ba ko ameka ade atumi nua no madwumtofo fo ne se adwum no aye to no eye onyame akyede ene ode amayen no kwasemini se yeme adwumto no eye nsu ene yemban ene yembra no sa ebe se onyame en monyam yi enye se ye to dwum no akeke ana se ye pe enipa en monyam akeke ana se ye to dwom no se ye de performance bi nemum no se ye adwen se ye to ade ahyanyame en monyam a ebe boye am ye honhom nko animu ye ntro se musua ne adwumadi ebe ye bia na awie peye eno kwani complaints bebre kose adwumtofo no empe babu sua ene ade yesre ne madwumtofo moma ye nyina babu adesua ikoda mpaebo nyina yemfa ye honyim se de ebe ya ebeboa mo som no nso awie peye.
The music director of the church, Mr. Frederick Opon-Mensah, giving the rationale behind the program, also expressed his profound joy over the quality of music the various choirs and singing bands rendered at the climax of the program.
Great commission trade ampo kono de share ensa say yenko wiase enko cancer pancha manamamu nyia no eye nyina ya se de enti Elizabeth choir and singing band ye fato ye ho say osom no mudwumadi bebre ekofom enyamsem kan hodo ekofom enti de ne yenso ye betimi aye ye de ebe ne say ye befa nyum to so na fe yakanya asafo no ene wiase.
A report by Elder George Mensah Jr., Ashanti South Ghana Conference, Obuasi. And in the news, it is a biblical misconception that a Christian should live in poverty and misery to pave the way for salvation. This is one of the profound statements made by Elder Peter Eshon Frimpong at an 8-day wealth creation and financial literacy seminar at Goso. Over 300 people, including Adventists and non-Adventists, attended the seminar. The seminar, which saw both Adventists and non-Adventists, numbering over 300, were enlightened on how people, especially Christians, are struggling to make ends meet at their low income levels. This, according to the facilitator, Elder Peter Eshon Frimpong, is not the teachings of the Bible, which is our instructional manual for living. The facilitator, who is also a specialist in agriculture and agribusiness, urged everyone to participate in agriculture and its business-related activities, as so doing is profitable and helps to reduce poverty. The program was organized by the 8 Adventist churches in the Goso Township under the leadership of Pastor Samuel Simpizozi and Daniel Brefi. The conference officers present commended the seminar's organizers and recommended the replication of a similar program in the near future in other conference regions in order to free church members from poverty.
Obetimi asum nyame na o heaven so emo aboya ma yate kwan pa so ebo yisika ho ban ye be save na yafoto ye niema se ne ankana na niema bebre fa ye nsem but na ye mu susu se bia esua ana bia tisa na niema bi ha ye hu se eso but say no atre me hu se kakra no ye betimi atu na mo na ye du sa niema no
me hu se e kama pa oba ye no wachache nyama bibiri na wame hu se adwuma ayeye enikwa se yeye adwuma ba ye ntire ma adwuma na enos le doso ene bebo ye ama ye sika sem koso esa se first na ne yete ho no ayeye adwuma ye de ba ko pe enisi ye so achechire ya me hu se yeye adwuma na esa se ye ma na ye ba ko pe ye ma ne doso ɛna bɛboa yɛ sikasɛm so atumi akɔ anim.
At the end of the program, 5 persons gave their lives to Christ for baptism. A report by Ivan Kofi, Ahafo Region. That is all in this edition, but before we go, let's take another look at our headlines. Southern Ghana Union Conference ends GC Women's Ministries Leadership Certification Training Program. Accra City Conference Children's Ministries Department donates to Royal Seed Orphanage. NAS ends its 40th Annual Congress. Let your lifestyle reflect your music. Pastor Uriel to Adventist musicians. Remember, you can reach us through our WhatsApp line 0559 680066 or through our email at hopetvghana@gmail.com. Keep watching Hope Adventist News on Hope Channel Ghana. Stay safe and stay tuned for the rest of our programs.